back due to popular demand in my ever so charming morning voice. In keeping with the spirits of how I started the last videos, I would say I'm going for something even more lighthearted this time. And what is more lighthearted than my own poetry? Yes, I write some very bad pieces of poetry, but it's just something that is in that's in my head. I watch Pride and Prejudice, so my vernacular and my vocabulary is kind of Victorian. Forgive me, okay? I guess problems of, second language being English, it's easily influenced by whatever sort of media you consume, but, we've beaten around the bush enough. So, yeah, I mean, like, what's a better way for me to say what's on my head than reading the thing that I wrote because something was on my head? And if you think that's only that, well, afterwards I'm going to tell you the story behind that, getting away that easy. Yeah, this video is going to be short, it's not going to be that short. Okay, it's called. I actually have it printed out in front of me. I print out all my stuff. It's called Part Time Emperor. And it goes something like this, if I don't mess it up. At our construct of education, a cat exists. A male cat with a pale orange color and with stripes. The cat pees on the walls. It's a wildlife thing. It is to prove that this belongs to him, that he's the king. The cat is alive only because we humans don't mind him. He eats our garbage, runs from us, exists because of us, but he still pees as if he's built the walls, which is absolutely false. He doesn't only pee on the walls, he also pees on the cars, and thus began my fascination. The cat walks, sees the car, and thinks to himself, "Oh, another shiny steed left in my kingdom. I shall mark this steed and fast." He pees on the car thinking it is now his. At the end of the day, the owner of the car gets in and drives away. Now I'm thinking about the cat. I wonder how he feels. At the car's owner's house, roaming at night, exists another male cat. He is the false, powerless, fueled by delusion king of this part of the map. Has marked this car before, but now he smells another cat's sign within his floor. He again marks the car. The owner drives to our college again, and so Peonia's car will do that cat again. They both wonder who it is that has marked their land, and the amount of amusement I get from this is really quite grand. They each rule the car for half a day. Each morning your land grows, and each night it shrinks away. A cat pissing on walls. A man with his headphones walking through the halls. A mind listening for the calls, and a world worthy of a cause. Inspiration and thoughts exist within us. A day without thinking is less day than it is a loss. I guess this is officially the first time I read one of my poems publicly. I have read them publicly, but well, yeah, nobody really understands them besides like 3 people. Not that understands them as in gets what's in my head, like literally they don't understand English. It's like, why are you reading this to me? But yeah, I wanted to pick one of the more silly ones. I enjoy having these sort of silly poems, if I dare say. They don't really, it's like I either go a bit too much with the rhymes or too little, but it's still, Anyway, I want to talk about it. So it tells a story, and it's funny, I don't think in my entire, this page has more usage of the word P than I use in like 3 months. I never use that word, it doesn't really fit into my conversations all that often. But yeah, I mean, it obviously tells a story, but like the story behind it is actually very interesting. At my college, at my construct of education, yeah, shut up, Simon. It's just like construct of education. Like, you don't have to be so pretentious about it. Construct. Okay, where was I? Okay, cool. See, I had to do a presentation, for my next class at college, and we had this little sitting area there. It's an open place. I've talked about my college. It's not a good place, but I mean, there's this place where, I was sitting around. There's a couple of bushes and a couple of little trees. I was sitting there and I was reading to myself my presentation, right? And I saw this cat, like this pale orange color with striped cat, and it was a male cat. I saw him and he was like walking. He went to this car that was parked there. He went and he like smelled the number plate, whatever it is. He smelled that. He turned back and well, he did his business. And it's like, well, felines do that because it's like, okay, this is my territory. And I saw that and I was like, the cat is just like so pretentious, like he feels so entitled about all of this thing. It's just in reality, it's just like the cat is nothing. Like if I decided I didn't want this cat to be alive, like what could it do? It would run away. Like the worst he could do is scratch me up, but you ain't gonna kill me. It's just like you're completely powerless. You have nothing to do. But like this much bravado, this sense of entitlement for what? And it's just like you feel like you own something that in reality it doesn't even belong to you. How can you own something that isn't yours? I saw that and then I started to think, as one does. I started to think, I was like, huh, that's actually very interesting because it reminded me of our whole sort of global domination, geographical domination deal that we have. It's like, oh, this is my land now, this is my land, and I'm fighting for this piece of land, and I'm, you know, killing all these people because I want this piece of land. It's gotten a whole lot better at the modern age, but even in the olden times, I mean, geographical domination is still a very dominant subject in our modern world. Don't get me wrong. It's just that there aren't as many all-out wars with the what you call it, with the intent of being completely capturing a country. You use politics nowadays, and you know, I'm not going into that. But yeah, I thought about it and I was like, that's very interesting. We're all fighting over like owning this place or this piece of land or this thing, or in reality, it doesn't really belong to any of us. It was very interested for me that how you can go from that, like a cat pissing on a car, to that sort of a thing. And I think to myself, and I'm like, is this really relevant, or I just want it to be relevant? Hence why I'm telling the story. I really like the last two lines. I'm really proud of it. Like this whole thing is a silly thing. I mean, I like it. Most of the things I write are silly, but I really like the last two lines. It's very, I don't know what it is, but I just really like it. I'll read it again and then I guess we'll end things. A cat pissing on walls, a man with his headphones walking through the halls, a mind listening for the calls, and a world worthy of a cause. Inspiration and thoughts exist within us. A day without thinking is less day than it is a loss. I love this. I just love this, and knowing the story, I feel like now you know. And this is story. Yeah, this was the video, like 10 minutes. Okay, cool. So that was Part-Time Emperor.